Hello, what's up, y'all? Welcome. I'm Omi Bell, and you are watching Headlines with Omi. All right, and so I had to. Oh wait, first, before we do anything else, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. You're watching right now. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. My YouTube is at the Omi Show, at the Omi Show. So make sure you do that. Subscribe to at the Omi Show. All right, on YouTube. All right, make sure because I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers. So I need y'all to go do that. All right, here we go. Now usually, so the name was today's news. Now I switched to the headlines. What do y'all like best? Do y'all like today's news or do y'all like headlines better? Or news you can't snooze? I should put that out as a vote. Do y'all like news you can't snooze or do you like headlines? Which one do y'all headlines, news you can't snooze, or today's news? Yeah. Let me know in the comments which one you like best. But nonetheless, I'm telling y'all what's happening in the world. All right, here we go. I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but a crazy thing happened with the freaking okay, here we go. Chase Bank glitch goes viral as social media users withdraw money they don't have. This is wild. An apparent glitch at Chase Bank that allowed people to draw large amounts of money from their accounts without having funds has gone viral on social media. According to social media users, some people exploited a system error to withdraw money after depositing fake checks into their account or applying for some large loans at Chase Bank ATMs. Banks usually take several days to verify checks before making funds, but the glitch had them you would put the check in and you would get the funds almost immediately and you could apply for loans at the ATM. So what people did was they went and they wrote checks from somewhere and deposited them into the ATM and then the money became available immediately. Now the stupid thing about these folks is, hey y'all, that's still fraud. Okay, like, and you had to stick your card into the ATM. So you got the camera and then you got people being able to identify them right away. This is one of the dumbest things that I think people have done on social media outside of those pranks or those like challenges where people had killed themselves. But like this is crazy, and I don't mean to be insensitive about people killing themselves. I don't want to say that at all. But what I mean is to go to the bank, write a check, put your debit card in, put in your PIN number so the bank identifies you, be in front of the camera and put in a fraudulent check. So now people's bank balances are in the negative. The spokesperson for Chase Bank said that the issue has been rectified, and some are now reporting that their accounts have massive negative balances or have holes on them. Others will also apparently quickly approve for loans at ATMs. That is wild. Okay. In other news, the Texas assistant principal was left blind and may lose an eye after aggressive student threw a hanger at her and knocked her eye out of socket, y'all. Crazy. An assistant principal was left blind in one eye and may lose it entirely after an aggressive middle school student hurled a clothes hanger at her face. Kendra Rogers was responding to a report of students fighting in a classroom at Collins Intermediate School in Corsicana on August 15th when the child threw several chairs at Rogers when she dodged and then a hanger which pierced the principal's eye. The hanger hit me right in the eye and knocked it out of socket. Rogers told reporters at a press conference in her first remarks back at school. The injury was so severe that paramedics who responded to the school decided Rogers needed to be airlifted to a hospital. Rogers was left blind in one eye and is likely permanent, she said. If it's found to be untreatable, doctors will have to remove her eye. She also must undergo reconstructive surgery on her eyelid. The student was taken into police custody after the assault, school officials said in press release on Monday. The school expects charges to be filed. The student also has been barred from stepping foot on campus. That's wild. I don't know if you saw my report yesterday, but I talked about California cracking down on flaming hot Cheetos and Twinkies. So there's legislation that is being passed to rule California schools from to prohibit California schools from serving food additives used in flaming hot Cheetos and Twinkies and other fluorescent snacks. Interesting. I think I may have talked about this. I'm not sure. Expect more illnesses and listeria outbreak tied to Boar's Head deli meat. Food safety attorney says 9 people have died so far. A prominent food safety lawyer says more illnesses can be expected, and Congress should investigate Boar's Head after deli meat produced in one of the company's plants was linked to ongoing multi-state listeria outbreak. The outbreak has led to 57 hospitalizations and 9 deaths in 18 states since the Center for Disease Control and Prevention initially reported on July 19. There will likely be more illnesses and possibly more deaths because the incubation period for listeria may last more than 2 months. In other words, people who consumed tainted deli meat in July could still have developed illness. According to a Seattle attorney who specializes in food safety, the CDC's investigation found that meats sliced at deli counters, including Boar's Head brand, Lunderwurst, were contaminated with listeria and made people sick. Subsequently, Boar's Head expanded its recall to include every product made at a facility in Jarrett, Virginia. The reports from the USDA, Food Safety and Inspection Services, revealed that inspectors found insects, mold, and mildew at the plant. Are you freaking kidding me? To be over 12 months before it was voluntarily shut down. Wild. Black Studies curriculum coming to New York City public schools this year. A groundbreaking new curriculum comes to New York City public schools this year. After 3 years of development, Black Studies as a study of the world is ready to roll out citywide from preschool to 12th grade. I love this. Students in Black Studies in the Black Studies course will get an expanded access to contributions of people from African descent to the U.S. and the world. A few examples of subjects in the course include Kingdoms and Queendoms of Africa, African American political leadership, and Black New Yorkers. That's dope. Dr. Sony Douglas of Teachers College, Columbia University, said the class is a corrective to a curriculum that has only emphasized a particular set of experiences. Research shows a recent surge in book bans, AP African American Studies, and critical race theory. According to the nonprofit organization PEN America, more than 4,000 books have been banned across 23 states and 52 public school districts. Wow. Ford has become the latest high-profile American company to pump the brakes on DEI. Ford Motor Company told its employees it would no longer participate in annual surveys from the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equity and Equality Index and Best Places to Work, and would not use quotas for minority dealerships, and suppliers. We are mindful that our employee, this is a quote from Ford, we are mindful that our employees and customers hold a wide range of beliefs. Ford CEO Jim Farley wrote in an internal email. The external and legal environment related to political and social issues continues to evolve. Ford is the latest company to make changes to its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives as corporate America faces growing pressure from a conservative activist whose anti-DEI campaign is gaining momentum. Lowe's and Ford adapted preemptive changes before Robbie Starbuck rallied his social media followers to boycott the companies. Other companies that have scaled back DEI efforts recently include Harley Davidson, John Deere, and Jack Daniels. Controversial Trump film The Apprentice finally gets a release date. The Apprentice, the controversial film centered on Donald Trump's origin story that was met with legal threats and a months-long distribution delay, has now a pre-election U.S. release date set for October 11th. The film follows Trump, named Sebastian Stan, as a young New Yorker real estate magnate, mentored by lawyer Roy Cohn, who also would be Jeremy Strong in the movie. Trump's team has threatened legal action against filmmakers since the docudrama's world premiere at Cannes Film Festival in May. A lawyer for Trump sent a cease and desist letter to the movie's team, accusing them of defamation and legal election interference. In the film's most appalling scene, Trump is shown raping his first wife, Ivana, played by Maria Bakalova, during a fight. According to the 1993 book Lost Tycoon, Ivana made the rape accusation in a 1990 sworn divorce deposition. She later clarified her earlier statement, saying that she didn't mean those words in a literal or criminal sense. Trump has denied the allegation. Ivana died in 2022. Trump's former national security advisor says Trump was trying to negotiate with the Taliban while Biden was withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. Donald Trump may have made the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan worse for President Biden. General H.R. McMaster told CNN Monday night that Trump while president, sought to negotiate with the Taliban as U.S. troops began leaving Afghanistan. The revelation puts the chaos of 2021 withdrawal from Afghanistan into greater context as conservatives sought to lay much of the blame on Biden and successfully push that narrative into media coverage. The former national security advisor was on CNN to discuss his new book, At War with Ourselves, My Tour of Duty in the Trump White House. It's the latest damaging revelation from McMaster's book. Last week, an early excerpt from the book detailed how Russian autocrat Vladimir Putin was able to manipulate Trump by playing on his ego and insecurities. New poll shows growing gender gap in support for Harris and Trump. A new poll shows the gender gap between supporters of former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris is growing now that both parties have officially named officially named nominees. Harris led Trump 50% to 46% in the national sample, which with that lead widening to 52% to 46% among likely voters. Where there had been a notable post-convention shift, was in the divide. That's weird. In the divide between male and female voters, specifically white men and women. Before the conventions, Trump was up 13 with both white men and women. But after the DNC, those numbers have diverged. According to the poll, Trump was now at +2 among white women, a statistical tie within the margin of error, but had grown his lead +21 with white men. The Washington Post ABC News poll was conducted August 23rd, August 27th, with an online survey in both English and Spanish among a random national sample of 2,496 U.S. adults. The partisan breakdown was 29% Democrats, 29% Republicans, 30% independents, and an entire sample had a margin of plus or minus 2 points. As the Paralympics gets bigger, some athletes say cheating is more prevalent. More and more athletes within the Paralympic movement suspect that some competitors might be faking their severity of their disabilities to gain advantage. Wow. That is wow. The Paralympic Games, which began in Paris last week, have transformed from modest beginnings into the third largest competition in the world and burgeoning global audiences and an economy around adapted sports and parasports has been provided additional rewards and incentives for cheating. The Paralympics employ what's called a classification system to put athletes into competitions with others who have similar impairments. Each sport has its own criteria and classes. Although some disabilities may result in clear-cut assignments to a class, others may be more ambiguous and rely on judgment of medical classifiers and the integrity of competitors to place them in the proper field. The Washington Post spoke to more than a dozen athletes across the Paralympics movement from sports diverse as cross-country skiing, skilled wheelchair rugby, track and field. The athletes say the system that is intended to ensure equitable competition is easily manipulated, and that the governing bodies charged with oversight are more concerned with preserving the inspirational themes of the Paralympics than they are with safeguarding fair play. Additionally, they say that the International Paralympics Committee and the individual sports provided inadequate mechanisms for redress of grievances, leaving few methods to challenge suspected unfair classification. Wow. All right, let's see. I got a little bit more and I got to hop out of here because I got to get ready to go to a meeting with a partner. But here we go. Let's see what's happening in tech news. Space news. Stranded astronauts report creepy sounding noises coming from Boeing's Starliner. The Boeing Starliner capsule has been plagued with technical issues and left astronauts temporarily stranded aboard the International Space Station, alarmed astronauts by emitting some very particular sounds on Saturday. I've got a question about the Starliner. NASA astronaut Birch Wilmore radio mission control to report. There's a strange noise coming through the speaker. I don't know what's making it. The sound, as revealed in a released recording, came from the docked module and bore a strong resemblance of sonar pings. Former ISS commander Chris Hadfield remarked on X that it was not a comforting noise to hear aboard a spacecraft. Lord have mercy. Pray for those folks. Jeez Louise. You could possibly see Saturn at its best in a Moon-Venus view, the night sky this week. So this week's stargazing highlights include perfectly dark, moonless nights for stargazing, a possible view of Mercury in the morning sky and Venus in the evening sky, a crescent moon. So this is saying September 2nd through the 8th. which is this current week that we're in, because you're watching me on 9/3, that you may be able to see Mercury in the morning sky and Venus in the evening sky, a crescent moon and Saturn at its biggest and brightest. So yeah, Monday, September 2nd. Dang, I missed this moon. Was a harvest moon. Every stargazer's favorite moment of the month, the new moon. The lunar phase sees the moon roughly between the earth and the sun and making the moon invisible, but the night sky free from moonlight. Interesting. All right, so the iPhone 16 unveiling will be in September. Let's see when Monday, September 9th. So next week, they're going to be unveiling the iPhone 16. And let me see. You can you can live stream it on Apple's Glow Time event on live on YouTube. All right, for you to check it out if you want to see the unveiling of the iPhone 16. They've really made a thing out of these things. Oh, other tech news. OpenAI worries that people may become emotionally reliant on its new ChatGPT voice mode. OpenAI is worried that people may start to rely on ChatGPT too much for companionship, potentially leading to dependence because of its new human-sounding voice. That revelation came in a report Thursday from OpenAI on safety review it conducted of the tool, which began rolling out to paid users last week. I'm a paid user. I don't have the voice one. I need to go check. ChatGPT's advanced voice mode sounds remarkably lifelike. It responds in real time, can adjust to being interrupted, makes the kind of noises that a human makes during conversation, like laughing or hums. It can also judge a speaker's emotional state based on their tone. Within minutes of OpenAI announcing the feature at an event earlier this year, it was being compared to AI digital assistant in the film Her. Now, OpenAI is apparently concerned that the fictional story is a little too close to become a reality. After it says that it observed users talking to ChatGPT's voice mode in language expressing shared bonds with the tool. Wow. I've not used the voice mode, but I do not plan on having a shared bond with the AI tool. Next week, there's a couple of things popping next week that you definitely want to be in on. So next week is going to be CBC week. That's right. Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. Their annual convening is going to be next week. Also, the debate is next week. So y'all get ready. Let's go. It's gonna be a good fun week next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been Headlines with Omi Bell. But tell me which title do y'all like best? Do you like Headlines with Omi? Do you like Today's News with Omi? Or do you like News You Can't Snooze? News You Can't Snooze is kind of hard for me to write into the StreamYard title, but let me know which one y'all like best. And I'll be here tomorrow with more news at 10:30. I was a little late on the draw today, but let me know which one y'all like. Do y'all like News You Can't Snooze, Headlines with Omi, or Today's News with Omi? Okay, drop it in the comments. Let me know. If you're watching on any other platform that is not YouTube, please go right now over to YouTube, search at The Omi Show, TheOmishow, and subscribe. Okay, hit that subscribe button. Go over youtube.com and go to and search The Omi Show and subscribe to YouTube. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.